What's going on, everybody? It's Ben. I'm coming at you from another beautiful, sunny Seattle day. That's a joke, but I do want to talk to you about something super serious. So, someone commented or messaged me over the weekend and was discussing staffing with me. Per usual, I'm talking to tons of you guys lately, which is great. I love the interaction. Keep it coming. Like and follow the Six Figure Recruiting Academy and talk to me on there. Message me, hit me up. I love speaking with all of you and answering questions and interacting. So someone commented something about how they could go after Costco as a client. So I wanted to debunk something real quick for you. Short and sweet. Costco is not going to be your client. I don't know how to break it to you. So as a beginner in the recruiting space, you definitely want to try to get general labor contracts. So general labor, as we've said a billion times, means delivery drivers, warehouse people, people that do production, low-skilled labor. Generally, they're paid anywhere from, depending on where you live, $15 to $18 or $19 per hour. They're usually paid by the hour, not salary, and anybody can pick up the skills that they do in a week or 2 or 3 weeks or so. That's generally general labor. High skilled or mid-tier positions are things that require degrees and things that you've had to have had maybe years of experience in before you can get into. And then of course there's also sales and there's other elements and other niches. But for general labor, you want to be shooting in that niche, but here's the idea. You can't land a company like Costco or Microsoft or Amazon for general labor. Okay. Now, those companies do utilize general labor. However, their general labor is contracted out to large organizations that have big, massive contracts with them through companies like Aerotek, TekSystems, and other big name companies that we don't even know about. The markets that people like you and myself should be shooting for are the small to medium sized companies. The companies that are anywhere from 250 to 1,000 people large. Maybe they approximately generate $5 million in revenue a year, anywhere from 5 to 10 type of thing. Those are the companies that you want to target. You're not going to get Costco as a client. Someone literally asked me, how do I go about getting in connection with someone at Costco? Well, that would probably take a year to accomplish. You probably would not find the right person. They use what's called a VMS, a vendor management system, which is very sophisticated and requires a lot of you as a recruiting company, meaning that they vet you extremely hard. You have to have a heavy amount of employees. You have to prove that you can actually provide the labor that they need, meaning you have to actually have bodies prepared on site, ready to work for them. You have to have stringent compliance in place with the state. You probably have had to have been in business for X amount of years. There's all sorts of things that go on with the VMSs, and all large companies have VMSs. Amazon, Microsoft, Walmart, Costco, you name it. Those companies all have VMSs, and they're not penetrable companies. I mean, they're not companies that you can just get into and get a signed DocuSign and start placing people at Costco. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So I've done a video before on knowing your target market and identifying, what you should be going after. And this is sort of, a dovetail off of that. So I guess maybe I didn't elaborate fully enough in that video, but companies like Costco are not going to be doing business with individuals and small agencies like mine, yours, or others. I mean, maybe there's someone watching this video right now who has a VMS contract with Amazon. I don't know. But generally speaking, if you're a beginner and you're starting your agency, you just built a website and you've been in business for less than a year, you're not going to be set up in a VMS. It's just not happening. So knowing your target market is absolutely huge. And what it comes down to is the ultimate lesson of the video is that I don't want you to waste your time. So time is precious. It's the absolute, most precious resource on the earth, let alone in business and in your own life as far as efficiency goes. So monetarily, you don't want to be spending your time on things like trying to get a contract with Costco or Walmart or Amazon. You want to be spending your time targeting and specifically niching down on those companies that you know you can do business with. That warehouse down the street that employs 100 guys, that production facility that's down the street, or in the south part of the city that employs 300 people, and they have 3 different shifts, and all that kind of thing, and they have high turnover and there's high demand and they can't find people, and they've got managers that you can get in contact with on LinkedIn easily. Those are your target points right there. You don't need to be targeting these big pie in the sky ideas. So I know we all would love and be blessed if we could have contracts with Amazon to just place endlessly 50 to 100 people a month doing general labor or whatever it might be. And there are companies that do that, and those companies make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month doing that, especially if they're in the tech sector and they're placing software developers. But that's not what we're doing right now. That's not what I'm doing right now. And maybe what you're doing, someone in this video might be watching this, is doing that, but I'm not. And so my advice to you specifically is to tone it down, put on some blinders, and get your target market in sight, and don't take your eye off the ball. Understand that there are companies that are simply not worth your time to even venture into. And not only do I mean not worth your time, I mean absolutely don't try them at all. Like don't even look at them. So take that advice, heed that advice, and just understand that your target market is going to be that 250 to 1,000 person company generating $5 to $10 million a year. And you can look this stuff up. You can Google these things. You can find the company. You can look at a company just by looking at the company, by driving by it and looking at the warehouse itself. And looking how large it is, and seeing, Googling it and finding out how many branches they have, and you can find out how many employees they have. Manta.com is a good tool for this. You can check out Manta, and it gives you tons of information about when it was founded and how many employees are there and all of that stuff. And that's critical information because that will tell you whether that is a perfect target company or whether that is a pie in the sky company that you might want to talk to in 3 years type of thing. Because eventually you will want to target companies like that where you can try to get into a VMS system, and maybe you've hired some people at this point, you've got 10 guys under your belt, and those guys can all go out and you can actually get into a VMS system, vendor management system, where you can supply labor to an Amazon, and maybe they'll have you do landscapers. Maybe you can hire landscapers for Amazon at that point, but that's 3 years down the line, and it's not something you're going to be doing today. So I don't mean to call out the person who mentioned the Costco thing, but I wanted to, as a group for this channel at large, for the audience to identify that there's certain markets you're just not going to touch. And you need to know that, and you need to know what markets you do touch so you don't waste your time and you utilize maximum efficiency. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. You don't want to spend your 24 hours in your day sitting there trying as hard as you can to bust into Amazon and get a contract. It's not going to fly. So take those words, heed those words, and that's what I've got for you guys today on Saturday. I'll definitely be catching you on Sunday. I hope you're having a good weekend. Hope you're getting some deals, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.